Hey guys, what's up? What is going on? All right, mute everything here. We're trying something new. We are on Rumble Studios, but we have a different setup happening. We're going through OBS, so that'll be pretty fun. Let's see. Getting stuff kind of situated here, but I think we're good. Looks like everything's running swimmingly at the moment. Very nice. But yeah, happy Friday, pups. How you guys doing? Doing good, I hope. Boy, oh boy, we got some fun stuff to talk to. Or about, actually. I guess we could talk to the articles if we wanted to. Be kind of weird, but it is what it is. Dang it. I don't think I have like any Kleenexes around me. Fudge. But it looks like everything checks out well over on YouTube. We're on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, and we're on X. So make sure to check me out and hit that like and subscribe button, all that fun stuff. Let's see, we have... I need like 3 screens kind of now if I'm trying to do this. Do I not have... Oh, that's over on StreamYards. Here I am thinking I'm on StreamYards. But if we make this work, sounds like we'll be good. Oh, and I finally figured out how to turn off like live chat and stuff because I've been saying about that the past couple streams. So the theme, it's under the theme tab, but for me, I thought it was just my background, but that's where I could set everything. So I fixed that. But I mean, I guess since we're going through OBS, you're not really going to see that anymore. But we are here. Hopefully everyone heard my intro. I guess we could play another clip here just to make sure, see what's up.
That was hot and spicy.
Yep. Okay. Everything works. Sweet. But yeah, we have some articles raring to go. We'll be checking in on Assassin's Creed Shadows because, you know, Ubisoft just refuses to admit to the fact that their version of what they're doing with Shadows is just a poor, pathetic, bastardized version of it. It sucks, and it needs to be fixed. They actually care about representing, Japan. Because at first they're making the claim that, well, you just hate, Yasuke or Yasuke, however you want to pronounce it. You hate him. You just hate historical accuracy. But found an article now saying that now they're kind of backtracking to where now it's more fiction. So they can't keep their story straight. So we'll read more about Assassin's Creed. Some YouTuber, Grace Randolph, is trying to like say that the Acolyte, the Disney Star Wars Acolyte, is like awesome or something. That caught my interest. I thought that was funny because, Disney Star Wars is hot garbage and will be until everyone of those woke assholes inside of that industry gets laid off. Supposedly, there's a rumor about Wukong, the video game Wukong, which is, I believe, a Chinese game. The Wukong developers pretty much told DEI consultants to fuck off, which I think is hilarious. So we'll read that as well. And then some Dragon Ball Sparking Zero news, as well as some other stuff. So again, if you're new to the show, make sure to like and subscribe. You can find my other social media listed in the description below. Or if you're watching on X, you can click on my link tree. I have all that stuff there. Without further ado, let's hop into this. There we go. Little delay there, but that's all right. That's all right. But yeah, I'm kind of liking this new setup now. So probably try to make this work. And we're also on Kick, by the way, too. We're on Kick. But we'll see. We'll see how my Spectrum account handles. What up, Komanga? That was my Rurouni Kenshin impression. Oh, you know, I really need to do warm-ups before I go live, because during the day I work and I do video editing, so I'm just sitting there in silence talking. You know, probably should try to talk to myself more often just to warm up, or at least do warm-up exercises and tongue twisters and stuff before I go live. You know, get the old throat ready to go. But, whatever. Alrighty. So this one comes from Bounding into Comics, or comment, doesn't matter. You can comment, I guess. So after failing GLAAD's 2023 Studio Responsibility Index, already sounds gay, Lionsgate develops new, quote, Story Spark tool to improve diversity and inclusion efforts. So, oh my gosh. So I'm assuming this has to do with that stupid, like they did with the Oscars, where it's like, we need more diversity. So you gotta have, you know, this amount of people in your movies and all this garbage. I would have told GLAAD to go fuck themselves, which they probably already do, but I mean, metaphorically do that as well, you know? Because if I was Lionsgate, I would wear that like with a badge of honor. You failed. So last year, Lionsgate was the only film studio who received a, quote, failing grade, oh my gosh, during GLAAD's annual of Hollywood's LGBTQ representation efforts. Dude, wear that like a badge of honor, man. Wear it. That's what I would do. Because I think that would be hilarious. Anything with Kevin Hart in it is bound to be bad. Yeah, this is that picture from Borderlands. Has this already been released? And then, of course, they picked, like, this person who is supposed to be, I'm assuming, young and beautiful and does not represent youth, in my opinion. So, read that already. In response, the studio has now announced plans, not announces. Oh, my gosh. Once again, I need to make like a spelling grammar counter of like the amount of spellings, misspellings, and grammar I find when I read these articles, because I find a lot, which is funny because I am not the best person when it comes to, you know, spelling or grammar or stuff like that. By no means am I terrible, but like, you know, I took exposé back in high school. I was terrible, like with, you know, run-on sentences and stuff like that. I couldn't wrap my head around that. That was too much for me. I was like, dude, oh my gosh, like I'm just doing this because I need to get a, you know, a grade. I need to fill up that quota. So the studio has now announced plans to use a new analytical tool to increase the diversity and inclusion level of their various films and TV projects. This is insane. Like, just reading this out loud, you just go, what is going through your guys' head? The fact that you're making an analytic tool that literally focuses on sex, ethnicity, gender, religion, XYZ, like that's literally everything that you say that you're not. This is why the woke mindset doesn't work, because in order, in their mind to fight the boogeyman shadow of racism and bigotry and all this bullshit that they try to fist into history by saying it's always been there and stuff, like it was built on this and stuff, they have to analyze everything by those categories, which is literally the definition of racism, bigotry, XYZ, all that shit. It's the purest, rawest form of it that you could be. And these people think that they're the saviors of the world because they're doing this stuff. It is amazing that the self-awareness these people have is like next to zero, if not beyond zero, like in the negatives. So the most powerful LGBTQ lobby in Hollywood, GLAAD, has spent the last several years demanding an increase in the amount of gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender characters across the entire industry. As part of this campaign, the last 10 years have seen their organization produce an annual Studio Responsibility Index. Like, do they just come up and like hand the studios like this index? Because if that was me, I would take it and throw it right in the garbage and then burn it. And then be like, I'm only casting people who I think are the characters who fit the characters that I want to portray in my movie. And I don't give a shit if you're gay or black or this or that, blah, 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 blah. Again, go fist yourself. I have better things to do. You know, I have more important matters to attend to. Holly weird? Well, yeah, I mean, let's be real also. The liberal science has, it stems back into occultism and all that stuff. All the way back to scripture with Enoch, the evil, and them worshiping fallen angels and stuff. It all leads back there. You can do your research and you'll find where it travels. That's not to say that like the initial knowledge that the Lord handed out to people and the Lord gave to the angels and stuff, that's not to say that it was bad. Because if it came from the Lord, it's good. You know, it's the fallen angels and bad humans that has twisted and deformed it. All right, so this Studio Responsibility Index grades and, quote, maps the quantity, quality, and diversity of lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transgenders, and queers. Well, I guess I'm pluralizing them, but those types of characters in films released by 10 major motion picture studios during the given calendar year. According to the group's 2023 report, the only major studio to receive a poor rating was Lionsgate, due to them having produced only one LGBTQ inclusive film out of the 6 total they made the previous year, Clerks 3. Wait, Clerks was literally like... Didn't Clerks 3 do terrible? Because if the sales is bad, then it goes to show that those movies don't sell. Remember when everyone was freaking out and trying to hype up that that bromance movie? You know, that gay movie that they were so hyped up on how, like, you know, it was going to revolutionize everything, and then it just sucked in sales. And then they blamed, you know, people for being bigots and stuff like that because they didn't go see a movie that you could have easily have told them that it wasn't going to sell or get the money back that you put into. However, GLAAD was not happy with how the topic was handled in the film, criticizing how the bisexuality of Becky, played by Rosario Dawson, was played for laughs. So her? Yeah, because it's hilarious. It's hilarious that you guys obsess over this and think just because I'm gay, I therefore deserve a major part in a picture. How about you be a good actor and I don't give a shit about your gender or your sexuality? Mostly sexuality, because if you try to come and be like, well, you know, I'm a man, but I'm really a woman, nah, you're a dude. Accept it. So at one point, she lists all the famous dead people in heaven that she is having sex with, including Cleopatra, recalled the organization. Becky's bisexuality is played more as a joke than real development, because it is a joke. Your stupid studio responsibility index is a joke. I would literally make fun of it every time. Feeding into the notion that being bisexual means a person is inherently promiscuous. Which is funny because there's infighting in the groups because you have gay people who say bisexuality isn't real. But then you also have women who get accepted when they were like, oh yeah, I was bisexual for a little bit. But then I decided to go back to straight and everyone claps for them and all that stuff. It's the weirdest thing. It reads as more a throwaway joke than real representation, they added. Who's they, by the way? GLAAD? Like, who's part of GLAAD? I'm not going to go and look it up because I could care less, but be nice to know who these retards are. GLAAD urges Lionsgate to make efforts for solid and meaningful LGBTQ reparations. Well, that's honestly what they want. Representations in future projects. So here you go. 14 total films, 5, all that. So they got, so A24 had 36%, which is good. Amazon Studios had 34%, which is fair. Look at that. Look at that difference. I mean, I guess they had 35 total films, but whatever. Apple TV Plus, poor. Good job, Apple TV. What's up, Loki? Lionsgate, there you go. There's that, dude. 17%. They need to like plaster a giant poster on their studios with 17%. Again, wear it as a badge of honor. 6 total films with 1 inclusive film. NBC Universal 24, Netflix 22. Wow, no, insufficient. Sony wait, how is it insufficient? How did they get insufficient when they're 21% and they have 38 total films? What the heck are these ratings? Like, what are they dividing and adding in all this bullshit? Oh my gosh. Like, insufficient data? Is that what they're referring to? Paramount Global, 29%. The Walt Disney Company, look at that. 41%, and all they got was a good. Oh my gosh. They're never going to be satisfied. And Warner Brothers, look, 42, but yet insufficient. Wow, these ratings are stupid. So as a result of this condemnation from GLAAD, Lionsgate is taking a big step in increasing just how diverse their projects will be in the future. Why? Don't listen to them. During the June 2024 CAA Amplify Industry Summit, Lionsgate revealed their new creation, Story Spark, described by Variety's Angelic, is that Angelic or Angelica? Angelique Jackson as, quote, a free online tool that helps creatives and development executives measure diversity and intersectionality in storytelling. Oh my gosh. Studio describes Story Spark as a, quote, filmmaker's first and creative-driven, collaborative, and open-ended development tool. Well, if it's open-ended, then I opt to not use it, which provides guidance towards telling more inclusive story. Is it literally AI? Are you demanding that AI write gay stories? There's no pass or fail grade for each script. But yet you literally just graded them with this. Oh my gosh.
This guy must be a fag.
And to note, this tool is not artificial intelligence. Oh, I guess that answers my questions. But instead guided by the creatives and executives who bring these stories to life. Wait a minute. Is this insinuating, so it's not artificial intelligence? Like, so you just have a group of people sitting around writing gay stories and then saying this studio needs to make this? Oh my gosh. That's what it sounds like. There's no pass or fail grade for each script. Oh my gosh. This is the dumbest thing. This is so dumb. So according to Jackson, the free online tool considers 6 key dimensions of inclusivity. Inclusivity. Man, that seems really weird to say. Or I'm just retarded. Probably the latter. But anyway, character diversity, who would have guessed? Character intersectionality. Character dimensionality. Are they just slapping ality at the end of everything? Narrative portrayal, creative team diversity, and groundbreaking inclusion. And provides actionable recommendations to the storytellers. Oh, brother. You watch Power Rangers? Do you watch Super Sentai? I watched it way back in the day. That's my reaction to this whole thing. Just this is gay. So speaking to the tool's existence, Lionsgate SVP and head of inclusion content Kamala Avila Salman. Her last name's named after a fish almost. Told audience that StorySpark is a simple, friendly, easy to use partner in content development that feels more like a BuzzFeed quiz than a checklist. Well, there you go right there. If you're comparing it to a BuzzFeed quiz, that's bad. Further attempting to sell the public on just how much this tool was set to improve the studio's content, the studio's president of production, Aaron Westerman, declared StorySpark is a prompt for important conversations. So we intentionally work to make our projects more inclusive. It is up to our storytellers to make our films as ambitious as our goals, and StorySpark is one way we help them do that. No, it's not. You're not helping them at all. You're demanding. So according to GLAAD numbers, of the 350 films released theatrically and a streaming service by the 10 distributors counted in 2020, only 100, so a whopping 28.5%, were LGBTQ inclusive, an 8% increase from last year. Commenting on this report, GLAAD president Sarah Kate Elise asserted, "We know that the stories told in those films have been an inextricable part of the culture shift seen and experienced by the community. Will support the LGBT community with support from LGBTQ people and acceptance at an all-time high." You guys are literally bullies. That's all you are. It's like, yay, we bullied 8% more last year, or we bullied, yeah, we bullied 8% more. Gosh, the new Crow looks awful. Okay. So Lionsgate's slate of release currently includes such films as Borderlands and The Crow. Both, I hear, are probably doing shit. And meanwhile, upcoming years will see them drop John Wick Presents Ballerina, Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping, and Saw. And there you go. Sounds absolutely awful. So this one comes from That Park Place. This has to do with The Acolyte. YouTuber Grace Randolph admits Lucasfilm poked the bear with The Acolyte, accuses critics of taking on hate speech qualities. So again, whenever someone has to resort of, well, the reason why you don't like it is because you're a bigot or you're a racist or there's hate speech involved, means that they don't have a legitimate argument to bring up. So they have to slap that on there to give themselves supposedly more of a case and all that stuff. Just absolutely ridiculous. So YouTuber Grace Randolph, who has lavished the Acolyte with praise, admits that Lucasfilms and the Walt Disney Company poked the bear with the show. In a thread posted to X, Randolph wrote, "I understand why some of you are frustrated with Star Wars right now." No, you don't. I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I guarantee you do not understand how people are feeling about Star Wars. Not in the slightest. She continued, "As for me, I generally like the show." Bam! X'd out on that one. "I'm excited for you to see episode 4 on Tuesday. The best of the 4 episodes I saw in advance." The best? Uh-oh. That's not saying... That's not a good sign. That's not saying... Never mind. You know what I'm trying to say. That's not saying much. There we go. That is what I was trying to say. The Acolyte videos... Wait, what? Hashtag the Acolyte. That Park Place, why didn't you just put the hashtag in there? My hashtag, the Acolyte videos, are meant to be a safe, probably a safe, is meant to be a space for people who do like the show and those who might not like it but are open to discussion. Bullshit. I call bullshit that your videos are meant for open discussion. She concluded, "Does Lucasfilm poke the bear? Absolutely. I don't think it's... Well, yeah, I mean, I guess when Lucas sold it, it is a little bit of Lucasfilms. But if anything, I think a lot of it's from Walt Disney. Should there be a broader range of Star Wars content? Absolutely. But I feel the Acolyte is generally a good show with awful timing. No, it's a bad show with terrible timing and deserves to rot in hell, up Satan's butthole, and is sitting down at a table where the odds are stacked against it. No, it was purposely made to fail. Let's just be real here. It was purposely made to fail because Walt Disney does not care about how much money it spends. As long as it can shit out products and hope that a couple people here and there fall for its lies, they're happy with it, which is unfortunate. So Randolph previously claimed that Disney and Lucasfilm would struggle to cast actors for the shows and films moving forward because of the, quote, level of hate the Acolyte was receiving. She then implied that actor Lee Jung-ja was receiving such hate. I'll bet she never provided any evidence. That's immediately what I thought. It's the same thing like with that stupid bitch, Alyssa Mercante, claiming that she's constantly getting hate and grape threats. And then you go, show the evidence, and then nothing. Probably a block. Like me, I was blocked by association. To who? Who knows? But she blocked me, which I sleep perfectly fine at night knowing that. She wrote, "I will say," his whole right here, "very true, no argument, they have no honor." Indeed. Very true. I don't watch Disney shows much anymore. You shouldn't pay for it. As well. If you want to watch Disney, go out of your way to make sure in some way, shape, and form that they lose money. You do what you want. I could care less. Just as long as you don't give them your money. Like coming off of Squid Games, doing a great job on the Acolyte, and for what? Well, from what I heard, the Squid Games were really good. And the Acolyte is a piece of hot garbage. I mean, there's that for one, like an actual good story. Interestingly, Randolph polled her followers, and a majority of people who responded to it indicate they were done with Star Wars. Oof. Ouch. Dude. 51%. Wah, wah. Despite Randolph trying to imply the critics of the show are engaging in hate speech or directing hate at actors, the truth is that people who saw the show do not like it. The show's audience score on Rotten Tomatoes currently sits at 17%, with the average rating being a 1.4 out of 5. Dear Lord, when was this written? Today at some point. So that's pretty current. And look at that. Of course the critics are going to say it's 86%. Loki says, we got rid of Disney Plus a year ago. Good job. Way to do the Lord's work on that one. Yeah, I never have Disney Plus. I got rid of Netflix. Netflix. It's a knitting show series. Netflix. In fact, even in the comment section of Randolph's own review and breakdown of the show's third episode, her own viewers informed her the show was trash. Not gonna lie, this ep was so cringe, reads one of the top comments. Another states, this isn't Star Wars, this is a Disney fan fiction. Throw the word gay in there too, because that's what it also is, a gay fan fiction. Star Wars ended with Lucas in episode 3. Look, when you defend a show where even rocks catch on fire, then you know you're the problem. An excuse to retcon as the thread, that's disrespecting the source material that it came from. But this guy hit the nail on the head, because it's exactly what it is. That's everything that Hollywood is doing. They are retconning everything. I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I'll probably say it forever. Hollywood retcons everything possible because they want their versions to be remembered for the future generations to come. That's why they're grooming them. That's why they're trying to cater to them. And that's why they're going back to past established franchises and said, we don't want to put in any work in creating anything new. We're going to analyze everything by race, sex, gender, religion that isn't Christianity, because we hate that. You know, XYZ, we got to be the most despicable, bigoted, racist people out there, because that's apparently how you fight it, according to these weirdos. And then, thanks to us, you know, we can jack off at night knowing that we did a good job rewriting history so that the people that we're trying to groom here will turn to our version as the ultimate savior of humanity. That's what it is. It's what they're doing in Hollywood. It's what they're doing in video games. That's what they're doing in entertainment. So just more tweets, apparently. Or it looks more like YouTube responses. So more comments of that. One person paraphrased The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien. Evil is not able to create anything new. It can only distort and destroy what has been invented or made by good forces. Yes, good job, J.R.R. Tolkien. Nail, meat, hammer. And then another one wrote, Grace tries incredibly hard to defend the show. Yes, because there's gay people in there. It's because it's probably going to be mostly women. He has to. That's part of the message. That's part of the hive mind. They have to follow it. I'll save you 20 minutes. It's trash. I mean, now they're just quoting a bunch of comments. What do you make of Randolph admitting that Lucasfilm pokes the bear, but also attacks critics of accusing them of engaging in hate speech? Well, my comment is that it's not Lucasfilms that's kind of poking the bear. It's the woke-infested cum rags that have infested Lucasfilms and Disney and DEI and all that stuff. They're the ones that are poking the bear. And then, of course, when the bear attacks and mauls their face off, they claim that the bear is the problem. It's what they always do. Every time. Well, that was an interesting one. I don't know who this person is. It just caught my interest because, again, I find it ironic to say poking the bear and then critics are using hate speech in the same sentence. Just funny. Well, there's that. But you want to know who rejects DEI consultants? Apparently, Wukong developers. According to Niche Gamer, there's a rumor that they rejected $7 million, apparently extortion, from DEI consultants. Way to go. So according to a journalist on the Chinese social media platform Weibo, Black Myth Wukong is experiencing a harassment campaign. They always do. The harassment campaign in terms of people who say get bent, DEI. There's always a harassment campaign that follows if there's garner enough attention. From Western critics and journalists after rejecting offers from DEI consultants. The post in Chinese mentioned how these consultancy firms, quote, interfere with games like God of War Ragnarok, true, Assassin's Creed, very true, or Dying Light 2 Staying Human. Don't know that game. Well, I've heard of it, but I don't know it, super well. Notably, they mentioned the boycott to the game Hogwarts Legacy due to J.K. Rowling's transphobic comments. So here it is right here. Apparently, this is the English translation. The reason why the team behind Black Myth Wukong has been subjected to persistent sexist attacks and slander since their first promotional videos because they have consistently, and then you can show more. I guess we can click it, see what it fully says. Consistently refuse political correctness guides and reject the extraordinary guidance fees of millions of dollars demanded by these political correctness teams. Good for them. Actually, such teams are quite common in Europe and America. They interfere with works like the names we just listed by pushing the politically correct female protagonist. These changes are the direct results of the interference and guidance of such teams. Game science teams. There's actual teams out there called game science teams. Have you guys heard of any of this before? Let me know in the comments. To communicate with these groups and reject their interference. Wait, so they established these teams just to communicate with the group and say, yeah, go fist yourselves. We're not doing it. Dude, that'd be the best job ever. Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Yeah, hi. I'm here representing this studio as part of the game science team. Yeah, I'm just looking over your DEI reports and your recommendations to promote more diversity and equality and all that shit in the game. Oh, yeah, what'd you think? Yeah, it's gay. Go fuck yourself. Hang up. Most importantly, they refuse to pay the exorbitant $7 million in guidance fees. Is that really true? Dude, scam. DEI consultant teams, scam. If this is legitimately true, $7 million to pay a company to tell you to put more inclusive garbage in, wow. This is a direct reason why they are being attacked and slandered. Some justifications are based on the team's lack of diversity of representation, which doesn't align with the political correctness standards. Who cares? If the team is making a good, solid game, who cares? Typical example is the article by a major IGN writer criticizing Hogwarts Legacy, refusing to evaluate or promote it due to its alleged lack of political correctness. So the Chinese Post implies that the backlash the game is receiving in Western media is a direct result of their alleged refusal to contract with companies such as Sweet Baby Inc. Okay, I didn't see that mentioned in the tweet, but possibly, which is also mentioned by name. Oh, I mean, what I was reading wasn't mentioned in there, but maybe it's like the whole thing. Apparently, Hideo Kojima made a response. Oh, look at this guy responding. Oh, I guess Sweet Baby's right there. So what did the Kojima respond? And then this person's like, seeing you promote and praising a game studio with such a fervent history of sexism and hatred, it's really disappointing to me. Well, you're not a gamer, so your opinion is worthless. So for context, the developer Game Science is a developer, has been criticized for comments made by higher ups in the company, which includes co-founder Feng Ji, who reportedly compared game development to pregnancy. Dude, based. And said that men and women's biological differences influence their decision when playing and buying a game. He's probably not wrong there. Dude. Spitting them facts. Yeah, because that'll piss off the trans people. Biological differences. I'm a woman. Even though I can't have a period. Black Myth Wukong is set to launch on October 20th, 2024. If you guys want to go get it. On Steam, Epic Game Store, Xbox Series, and the PlayStation 5. Yeah, any DEI consultation team are
Gay.
Gay, indeed. Okie doke. Let's get into Assassin's Creed Shadows here. Assassin's Creed Shadow just keeps getting better and better with how many people are telling them that it sucks. So Assassin's Creed Shadows dev explains why he ignored Elon Musk's DEI kills art tweet. Oh boy. The game's executive producer discusses online backlash to the Yasuke character, or Yasuke. Whichever way. So a key Assassin's Creed Shadows developer has explained why he chose not to address criticism aimed at the game by X and Tesla owner Elon Musk. So speaking to journalist Steven Todilio's GameFile, Assassin's Creed series vice president, gosh dang it. Ugh. What happens when you just do not talk for the majority of the day? You start to sound like Rurouni Kenshin. Oh, Oro. Yes, indeed. I'm just alone. I'm just a mere Ronin. So Mark Alex Cote was asked about a tweet Musk posted on X regarding Yasuke, one of the game's protagonists. Responding to a complaint that the character is an African samurai. No, that's the whole point. If not the main reason, a lot of people are pushing back against this. It's because history has not specified that he was a samurai. He was a retainer. I even read an article on the show of a person from Japan actually went to the Historical Documents Center and found everything they could on this dude, and he was not a damn samurai. Musk wrote DEI kills art. DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. It also stands for destroy, well, I was going to say annihilate, but that starts with an A. Destroy, Oh man, I is in fest. Insert a word that means destroy for equity. Explode. I don't know. I said something before, but whatever. Anyway, Kode replied that he had seen the tweet and was tempted to respond to Musk, but ultimately chose not to. Oh, so stunning and brave. That tweet generated emotions that the first thing I wanted to do was go back on X that I had deleted and just tweet back, oh my gosh, this guy is sitting in his desk just, I'm such a good person because I deleted X and I was about to cave, but oh my gosh, dude, whatever. And I just took a step back. I have a mindfulness app on my phone. What? What does that mean? A mindfulness app? And I did a bit of mindfulness to try to explore the emotions that this tweet created. Dude, oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta look this up here. Mindfulness app. It's like when frickin' Ron Toye recommended reading Emotional Intelligence 2.0. I just typed in mindfulness app and I'm seeing stuff on my phone. Mindfulness coach, the mindfulness app, reflective technology. Okay, so maybe that's actually it. There's also mindfulness.com, a meditation app. So a lot of meditation stuff. Why can't these people? Gosh. You know, these are the people who say to follow by their emotions, but then they just can't handle their emotions. It's insane. Gosh. Which is very dangerous, by the way. I was actually a very angry person, believe it or not. No, but I did have a very hard time growing up handling my emotions for a lot of reasons. I was bullied. I was diagnosed with ADHD, a little bit of Asperger's, depression, and stuff like that. And these people, and then you have these people come along and are like, oh no, it's okay to be emotional. It's okay to be this. Do you guys not realize when you tell people who can't handle their emotions and control it and tell them just to, yeah, let that fly because that's just who you are? Do you realize how much damage a lot of people could do if they reacted to that? They don't realize. In fact, whenever you look at like the protests and stuff that these people do, that's them. That's what happens when you do it. You justify yourself that it's okay to be violent, which I do agree with defense. And yeah, as a man, sometimes you gotta beat an ass. You know, sometimes two dudes just have to duke it out to settle a case. Just how it is. But you got to control your emotions. You know, you can't just let it fly. Because in the end, the funniest thing is that these people who think that they're so cool and so clever and so on the right side of history and all that stuff and how extreme they're taking it, they don't realize that someone out there is going to take it even more extreme and they're going to care even less about the consequences to their actions. And these are the people that are asking for it. Again, we saw the analogy of poking the bear. They think that they're the ones trying to do the right thing, but they're the bear pokers. Probably sexually too. So responding to a complaint that the character is an African, I'm going to correct this article here, retainer. What's the problem with Assassin's Creed now? It's a game and combat is good. The problem is that Assassin's Creed has been fictional all this time, and then they do this, and it got backlash, And they go, well, you're just mad because, Yosuke is black and he's a historical figure. And people point out, no, it's because when Japan is finally getting representation in the Assassin's Creed universe, you pick the abnormal, regardless if it's historical or not, to represent, Japan, and then slap on a fictional character of, this girl. And this dude doesn't have enough history. You try to spout that out, and now you're backtracking by saying, well, it is kind of fictional and all that stuff. And it's like, well, which way is it? And a lot of people are pointing out that it's interesting that a black man's going around slicing and dicing Asians. Very inclusive there, Ubisoft. All right, so this dude went on a mindfulness app to try to explore his emotions that apparently he can't seem to comprehend. For me, Elon, it's sad. He's just feeding hatred. No, you guys started this hatred. In fact, you guys are the hatred because you don't care about what you're doing to the franchise in the series. You guys don't care. You're saying you're doing this for diversity and stuff like that, but you're not. You're causing more splits amongst the community. And then you have weirdos like Alyssa Mercante, being a conniving weasel, calling out people to come and fight her. And then when like multiple people say, yeah, let's do this, you backtrack and backpedal and shit talk behind a block, and then refuse every sort of event setup because your viewers are bigots or XYZ or I hate you. And then try to say, I'm not promoting illegal boxing, but then demanding Vera Dark to go find a gym in private and duke it out. Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, ask a girl to come in private to box you in a private gym. Yeah, because you would be very, very careful that she would be safe and stuff like that. Don't want any of her stuff to. You don't want anybody to stream that on her end. Your end is perfectly legit and safe, though. Did they not play the other Assassin's Creed? Hello? So by attacking someone, okay. So he's projecting, saying it's Elon that's feeding the hatred. I had a lot of 3-word replies that came to mind. Go fuck yourself. Fuck you, Elon. Like stuff like that. Koday came to the conclusion that fighting back wouldn't win the game any new followers, saying, well, maybe you should have, because you're sure as hell losing followers. By attacking someone like Elon, I will not convince people about our point of view as a team. I mean, you already convinced me that apparently you don't like Japanese people, because when it came time to represent Japan, you chose, again, a very abnormal figure that was not of the norm of that time to cater to DEI. He also explained that while the game's developers do their initial research during the early stages of development, yeah, they went out of their way, and everyone busted a nut when they found out when they looked more into the historical figure of Yasuke and realized that there was not a whole lot of history about him, so then they could make up whatever they wanted to. They must have been ejaculating a ton when they discovered this guy, who was a real historical figure, kept surfacing. Sure. We've got a super mysterious historical character. Again, I went on Encyclopedia Britannica and read about the historical figure that is Yasuke. Guess what the word of the day was in those article? Unknown. His actual day of birth is unknown. His actual homeland is unknown, but it's speculated to be XYZ. His arrival in Japan was unknown. Unknown, unknown, unknown. That was the word that was constantly used over and over. In fact, wonder if we can find it. Yasuke Britannica. Much about Yosuke is unknown. His birth name is unknown. The date of his birth is unknown, although many estimate to be in the 1550s. While he is known to have been from Africa, the exact location is unknown. A lot of unknowns. It is unknown whether Yasuke was enslaved. See? Unknown. Unknown. As a samurai, sure, Yasuke would have fought in several battles for Nobunaga, though the exact number is unknown. It is possible. Nothing is known of him after this incident, though the exact number is unknown about the battles. I think I read that one already, but you get my point. It was believed. There you go, Britannica, right there. Right there. Also there's a, like, it is unknown whether he was enslaved or free at that time. What is known definitively is that Yasuke arrived in Japan in 1579 with an Italian Jesuit missionary. It is possible, according to some historians. There you go. Look. They were thrilled when they found this dude. Kept resurfacing. Yeah. We've got a super mysterious historical character from which not much is... There you go. And for us, it is what we wanted in Assassin's Creed, he explained. Thank you. You literally admitted that you are super happy that you found a black dude who had very little history about him, so then you can make shit up and talk about how he is some awesome man when he's like mediocre at best. He then claimed that players who tried the game will realize why Yasuke was added, given a specific indication of how long this realization would take. Oh my gosh. Komanga says Black Samurai. Yasuke the Unknown. Yeah, that should have been his name. Dude, have you met Yasuke the Unknown? What does that mean? Does that mean like the number of his body count is like unknown? Oh no, it's just that we don't really know where he came from or what he did. And then and again, on a past show, get away from me, you damn gnat. As we also read on a past show, some guy actually in Japan went to the actual historical record center, looked up the dude. Nothing of what these people are saying is what's historically recorded. So what Elon says is not the game that we're building. Yes, you are. That's exactly what you're building. He said, people will have to play the game for themselves. Isn't that what a trailer is for, though? This is the most hilarious thing. It's the same that they do with movies, and now what they're doing with video games. I see the trailer. Hey, this trailer sucks. Well, you have no right to say that. You haven't played the game yet. I saw the damn trailer. And it sucks. What's the point? I mean, don't take this up, video game CEO companies, but why even put in trailers anymore? Because now you're saying stuff like this where it's like, well, you haven't played the game that we're trying to build. Okay, then don't release a trailer. Don't show anybody anything. Gosh. These guys straight up leave trailers, whether in video games and movies, and people watch it and they go, this fucking sucks. And then they get ass mad. Well, you haven't watched it yet. Why would I give you money to watch it if I'm not convinced by the trailer? Prime example of a bad trailer, the movie Quarantined. Literally the end of the movie is in the trailer. And that's how trailers are becoming nowadays. Main key points. The points in movies where an audience's what am I trying to say? Attention is captured the most. They're trying to use that to lure you in for the bait and switch. Again, guys, these people are trying to rewrite everything. They're probably honestly really trying to destroy the industry. Let's not kid ourselves here. I am convinced there are a lot of people in the video game industry and in the movie industry that are from your social media manager scumbags to the top CEO people who legitimately want to destroy their company. But they're doing it in a way so that they can keep making money or spend someone else's money and fuck everybody else over. It's definitely there. Let's see. People will have to play the game for themselves. And if within the first 11 minutes and 47 seconds they are not convinced of what we're doing, we can have that discussion. Elon literally just said, this is killing it. Well, you haven't played the game yet. Oh my God. Dude. Ugh. I'm just repeating the same stuff over and over again. Anyway, asked why he cited the amount of time, Kode replied, I was reviewing the game very recently, and I was like, the answer is there. I just hope and wish that people can keep an open mind about this and see the game for what it is. It's an Assassin's Creed game, and I believe the best one we ever built. Yeah, sure. No, it's not. You guys found the one black dude that was had some information about him recorded in history. You gobbled him up. You jacked off even more when you found out that there was very little information about him. So perfect opportunity for you to straight up insult Japan. That's what you did. Because any other character was a normal person of that time. And not afraid to say it, Yasuke wasn't normal. And the actual historical records showed that people didn't respect him. He was, chances are, a slave. I mean, even that Britannica stuff, Nobunaga demanded him to wash himself thoroughly because he thought he was dirty. I guarantee you none of that's going to be shown in the game. Because that's what really happened. Sorry. Well, that was Elon's take on it. So that Park Place kind of talks about the same thing. Apparently, he was, according to that Park Place, Kode was not just beyond, like, annoyed. It broke him emotionally. And that's where that tweet generated emotions. Emotional damage. And then he apparently is such a good man because he took the higher route by not attacking Elon. Even though his knee-jerk response was to tell him apparently a three-letter word, or a three-letter word. That doesn't make sense. A three-worded sentence. Or whatever the hell he said. Let's see. So Kode's comments. So the article looks like it kind of comments about what what the other one talked about. Apparently, this one also tacks on. Comments are not convincing given an internal Ubisoft memo confirmed that the company has pledged its allegiance to woke ideology in the form of representation and diversity and inclusion. As shared by Jeremy Hambling, the quartering, the document states, first, we want to make it very clear that we do not accept hate, harassment, or other forms of abuse in any way, only when they do it. That's the only time they'll accept it. And we are deeply saddened to see the negative and hatred currently spreading on our coworkers' personal profiles and on our and our partners' social media platforms. It's called social media for a reason. You don't fucking like it, leave. You're literally like a semi-public figure. I'm the same thing too. You want to know what I do? Mute. People send me weirdo DMs, block. Not that hard. And laugh. It continues. We are proud to present the diversity and inclusion that exists in society as part of our everyday work. Well, your made up version of what diversity and inclusion is, which, includes yourself, but hates everybody else. Representation is part of our DNA and will remain that way regardless of external pressure or influence. Goes on to add, Ubisoft firmly stands for diversity and inclusion in our workplace. Okay, so just repeating the same thing. Company also previously employed Sweet Baby Inc. RIP. CEO Kim Belair and worked with Sweet Baby Inc. for its Assassin's Creed Valhalla game. So they're the clients. Not only has Ubisoft made it clear where it stands on the promotion of woke ideology, a blog post attempting to promote Assassin's Creed Shadows heavily implied that both Yosuke and Naoe practice disordered sexual lifestyles. So the post states their desperate personalities also lead them to having different relationships and reports with other characters, and they don't always feel the same way about people, nor do people always feel the same way about them. Next, they discuss romance options. Romantically, they will also attract and be attracted to different types of people. Through the pair, players will get to experience a multitude of relationships. I'm pretty sure that's not what Assassin's Creed was for. I thought the whole point of Assassin's Creed was to go around shanking people in the neck while you're performing various missions and tasks. Furthermore, the company hired Dartmouth professor Sachi Schmidt-Hori to consult on the game. Oh, yeah, that wonderful person that... Yeah, Tales of Idolized Boys, Male Love, and Medieval Japanese Narratives. Made in 2021, by the way. Excellent historical representation right there from this person. I've kind of read this over in past stuff, so it just talks more about her and her weirdo book. Of note, the official description of the publisher of Tales of... I'm not reading that. I already read it once. Is this the same article? Am I actually reading an article I've read before? I don't think so. Because they tacked on the Elon Musk portion. But I've like read all this before. Yeah, Chigo, I remember reading that. Okay, we'll skip down to here. One of Assassin's Creed senior writers, Giles Armstrong, also previously detailed he held an animus against white creators. What a diverse team you got going, which is in line with woke representation ideology. He reacted to a video of actor Chadwick Boseman surprising Black Panther fans, writing, "Hey, game dev, when I say in our meeting that representation matters, well, see for yourself. Everyone wants to see a positive version of themselves on screen. Everyone. There's more than enough games out there with white men as the only playable character. Let's do better." What do you make of Kodak's admission that Musk broke him by stating DEI kills art? I think he's a buck-futting homo. There you go. That's what I think. We're going salty tonight. In fact, I think we're over an hour already. Very nice. But just to drive that knife in further, that Assassin's Creed Shadows isn't appealing to people, no matter how much the Ubisoft simps out there. Japanese players torch Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Shadows after associate narrative director confirms game is fiction. This one's a big one because remember what they did when everyone responded of, "Wow, that guy's not Japanese. Why are you having a black dude represent Japanese culture?" And they said, no, it's true. He's historical. Now they're saying the game is fiction. Japanese players torched Ubisoft after the game's associative narrative director, Brooke Davies, confirmed the game is a, quote, fiction. So in a video uploaded to IGN, Japan earlier this week, Davies confirmed the game was a fiction. She said, the story that we're telling is historical fiction. So to take the events of history and what we know of the history, and then I think it kind of like as a palette. Wait. So to take the events of history and what we know of the history, and then I think it kind of like as a palette. What? Oh my gosh. That's like me when I have like 1,000 things in my head and I'm trying to just say it all at once. Gosh. Then the story that we write based on these events and what is known needs to fit within that palette. Well, wait a minute. They spelled palette this way, and then they spelled palette like a pallet you lift up. I mean, I'm enjoying that Park Place, but this person, oh my gosh. So we can't bring stuff from outside of this. I know. I mean, that's why you found a dude that had very little written about him. We're trying to work within this palette. Dude, how many fucking times are you going to say palette? It's like Britannica saying the word unknown. But the story is very much fiction, and what the writing team has imagined based on these historical figures and events that we've learned about working with our researchers and historians and consultants. What? Is this an actual quote? Because this sentence makes no sense. But the story is very much fiction, and what the writing team has imagined based on these historical figures and events that we've learned about working with our researchers and historians and consultants. I feel like there needs to be a comma and a period in there somewhere. Loki says, I prefer for Ghost of Tsushima too, honestly. Oh, gosh. I mean, it's still retarded that you have to sign up if you want to do multiplayer for Ghost of Tsushima. But still. Ubisoft previously detailed in a blog post, Ubisoft Quebec went to great lengths consulting source documentation and building a network of expert historians, professors, and cult consultants to help the team. I said cult consultants, but that's probably true. Even though this says cultural consultants, let's be real, they only found people that also agrees with their retarded woke ideology, hive mind bullshit. To help the team build a world as authentically as possible. Authentically as possible. You know who's going to be a prime representation of Japan? This black guy. From castle construction principles to tea ceremonies to tatami alignment. It added, the team made trips to Japan to help them properly grasp the landscape. Didn't I see a picture of them like showcasing like the collector's edition of Shadows here? And like people were pointing out that the kanji was like all wrong. I remember seeing that on X. I don't know if it was like true. I mean, it's on X. It's got to be true, right? I didn't see any community notes on it. But, like, yeah, they were, like, pointing out about, like, oh, my gosh, like, this kanji right here, you didn't even need to use it, or it's literally the same one like you just put over here. More importantly, connect with Ubisoft's Tokyo and Osaka teams who helped with the creation of the game. The blog post also made it clear that they were attempting to tell a historical story of Yasuke. Detailed. Yasuke also offers a unique perspective of the period. Oh my goodness, we get to see racism from a black dude's point of view that's in Japan, as opposed to racism from a black dude's point of view, you know, in Africa, when other tribes would capture them and then sell them to white people or other black people. This one's going to be a doozy, folks. Players can discover Japan alongside him. On one hand, he serves as a warning for the colonizing threat that the Portuguese present. Oh, you guys hate Portuguese? Not very inclusive, yeah. And on the other, he adapted and thrived in Japan. Again, resort to that Britannica article that I read out loud. Well, once in a past video and very quickly in this one. It could be viewed as an example of the mediocrity established under Nobunaga. Assassin's Creed Shadows, his historical story is established. But you literally just said it's a fiction. It's a historical fiction. Fiction. Oh my God. I'm dying over here, guys. I'm dying. One day my balls will drop. Ugh. This is kind of making you laugh a bit. Good. Anyway. So, and a historical story is established and then developed and expanded from that point. The team won't spoil how he's linked to Assassin's Creed lore. Players will just have to play the game to find out. I will not. Davies herself even noted in an Assassin's Creed Shadows video uploaded to the YouTube channel, the historical character of Yasuke presented a really exciting opportunity for the narrative team. It was exciting because there was little to no information about him, so we can make up whatever we wanted. Just admit it. Just admit it, and maybe people won't hate you that much. They have no idea what they're saying at that point. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point, reading all this stuff, because my mind is fried. My voice is shattered. My stomach is growling because I'm hungry. Dear Lord, just harpazzo me right now. She then admitted not a lot is known about him. Why are you trying to pass it off like he's some deep, meaningful historical figure? Oh my gosh. But we do know, or we did know, that he arrived in Japan in 1579, right when our game starts. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. Yar. And then he had relationships with some of the most interesting people in our settings, like Oda Nobunaga. He was probably a slave. Probably not going to have that in the game because people are there's already gameplay footage of people bowing to him. The Portuguese and the Jesuits, which made it a very sort of tantalizing and enticing from a narrative perspective to come in and start weaving these facts with story in between. Japanese players expressed their displeasure to Davies' more recent comments in the comment section of the video. One wrote, "We fabricated a blank space in history." There you go. Boom. Case closed. That's what you guys did, and you pretty much just admitted it in your quotes up here. The old lady, the old lady in the thumbnail used the word historical a lot in an interview with IGN last month and claimed that it was based on historical facts. So it's unreasonable to call it fantasy now. Yep. Still another posted. Isn't it discrimination that Japanese people are not included in we? A fourth wrote, UBI is a company that is sensitive to discrimination against black people, but is insensitive to discrimination against Japanese people because discrimination against Japanese people is a daily occurrence. Very true. And you're straight up murking them in the game. This is, you don't want to know what this is? This just makes me think of like when that Stop Asian Hate thing came out. And then you see everyone like hopping on board and saying, yeah, we support this, we support that. And it was kind of like around that time as well when I think it was like the riots and stuff. And maybe even the George Floyd stuff, like, with, Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. And the irony of everything is that unfortunately, a lot of discrimination comes from black people. And then you have these woke black libtards saying, yeah, we support Stop Asian Hate. And then you do shit like this. Oh my gosh. One person wrote, when I saw the thumbnail, I thought this is another anti-political video, but I was wrong. It is a violation of human rights to promote a real person's unknown vacancy period by labeling him or her as gay or some other special sexuality. Oh, yeah. Special sexuality, for sure. Revised statements in a certain media interview. All right. But yeah, we're seeing like tons of people commenting that, like, yeah, you guys are the real racists, which is true. They are. Ugh. You know what? I think I'm done with hearing what Davies. Man, this is a long article, but I'm done with hearing what they say. Yeah, a lot of people just leaving comments saying, no, you guys aren't representing a historical accuracy. Gone. But yeah, there you go. A lot of people calling out the bullshit, and it is bullshit. Can find this article on that Park Place. But yeah, I hope the game does pourable. Pourable? Pourable and horrible. I hope the game... Oh, my brain is broken. Hope the game does really, really bad. So, you know... So, you know, this person... All I can
Shut up, bitch!
All I can say is that. Oh, we got a post posted up here. Get rid of that. It's all that needs to be said there in a few words. But before we sign off, let us go ahead and end on a more upbeat note. I am kind of looking forward for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Ending this with niche gamer, publisher Bandai Namco, and developer Spike Chunsoft shared new gameplay and details for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, confirming split-screen multiplayer for the game. Here's a rundown of the new details, plus the new gameplay. So you get episode battle, custom battle, offline multiplayer modes. The single-player mode where players can choose up to 8 characters. Up until Dragon Ball Super Tournament of Power, players can experience some of the cutscenes from a first-person point of view and make decisions that will have them play alternate scenarios on certain stages. Ooh. First-person point of view? That's pretty cool. The second feature, Custom Battle, introduces a new element to experiencing Dragon Ball as a game where players can try their hands in a match imagined by the developers or create their own scenario. Yeah, cool. We'll also include offline multiplayer mode, allowing veterans and newcomers face each other and hone their skills in the hyperbolic time chamber, which is interesting because I also saw that the game isn't going to be balanced. So if you're going to be Goku Ultra Instinct, he's going to be the strongest character in the game. And you're going to get your ass kicked if you're going to be like Yajirobe or something like that. Kind of how Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was back in the day. But again, to me, if you're not going to balance the characters, then don't have those pointless characters in the game. There's no reason to it. We will listen to the Japanese version. Let's watch this. I'm still not a fan of like the aura. I love the aura from Budokai. Like it's kind of, I don't know. Like it's kind of like cut out, you know? It's like it's almost there, but there's not enough weight to it. Like, I still love how the beams looked in Budokai 3. I'm always going to be a Budokai biased guy. I enjoyed Budokai way more than Budokai Tenkaichi. So there you go. Sparking Zero. Announced for 10/10. Very nice. Coming for Steam. See, I've seen those transitions before. Hello, sir. Unfortunately, there's no subtitles. Oh, is that like up there. Maybe we have it in this one. Oh, we do. Footage shown is under development still. Okay. So kind of a replaying of the cutscenes, which were pretty cool. I mean, I still love seeing the cutscenes from the first Budokai game. So it starts from Raditz up until the Tournament of Power. Why can't they include... I mean, I guess technically Dragon Ball ends with the fight against Piccolo Jr. Be nice to see that, though. I know that's more Dragon Ball, though. So that's the episode Battle Showcase. So you get to recreate certain events and apparently go into first-person mode to see through their point of view. Got the bonus battle. Can make up different modes and stuff. Effects tables, title screen, captions. Like to talk about our local game player mode. I mean, like I said, I'm still probably going to get this game. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, okay, so that one looks cool, but I'm talking like, can I get a good spot? It's like this right here. This reminds me of like some of the free like transitions you can buy from iStock and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. It's like almost like a super flat, to which to me aura and energy beams and stuff aren't that. You know, it's more mystic, but like solidified, you know, like plasma. Some people have said it's, you know, kind of like a plasma. The more I see of it, the more I'm slowly getting used to the style. When I first saw it, I was a tad bit disappointed. I was like, really? Like, I love the hardcore, like Budokai 3, heavy outline. Even Burst Limit. Burst Limit had really good graphics. It's just a shame they couldn't have continued that one. But something more positive. That's what we're ending on. Dragon Ball Z. Well, I guess Dragon Ball, excuse me. Sparking Zero. Z being in zero. I'm looking forward to get it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream and the new layout. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on notifications to get notified when I go live. You can find me on Rumble, YouTube, Twitter, Kick, and Twitch. I do game streaming as well. We've been playing Onimusha 3, slowly winding that down. And then we'll move on to something else. Maybe even try to pick up a copy of the 4th Onimusha game. But yeah, appreciate you guys just hanging out with me, chatting along, leaving a like, turning on notifications. And if you want to go beyond that to help support the channel and help it grow, maybe check out memberships and subscription tiers. Help the channel that way. But I am humbled and blessed and thankful regardless. Oh boy. Woo! That was a doozy. We had a lot of winners there in that one. Whew. But we made it. We made it through. I mean, a lot of that stuff.
That was hot and spicy.
Hot and spicy. I'm going to sign off for tonight, you guys. Thanks a bunch. Make sure to hit, again, the like button and subscribe. But you guys have a good rest of your night. Take care. God bless. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Adios.